everybody, and welcome to another episode of Haunt Talk. In today's episode, we are reviewing Chippewa Lake Slaughterhouse. And, well, if you're wondering, why does Josh look different? It's just, I feel like we go there so much that I'm part of the family now, and I don't know, this felt like something that they would wear. Oh my gosh. But I can't see very well, so. Yeah, I don't think I can wear this for the whole thing. Alright. Well, anyways.
Just eat it.
Yes, so as I said, we went to Chippewa Lake Slaughterhouse. Yet again, we've been going there every year for the past few years now.
Yeah.
And I think last year was our first time going there and doing their touch pass, because they just started doing the touch pass in like 2021 or something like that, I think as well.
I think so, yeah.
And so we did that this year, and then we also did Nightmare Cleveland after. So make sure you watch that video. That'll be coming up whenever this uploads, the day after that, and we will be doing a giveaway for Nightmare Cleveland, so make sure you check out that video. But yeah, before we get into the review, make sure you're doing all the things. You're doing the liking and the subscribing. You're checking out our Patreon, checking out our merch store where you can buy our shirt with our logo on it, and a bunch of other stuff like mugs and stuff like that. That being said, we're going to get into the review, which as always means we must refer to the Book of the Dead! Book of the Dead! Book of the Dead! Book of the Dead! Alright, so if you haven't seen any of the other reviews for Chippewa Lake Slaughterhouse, just a quick recap, it's in Chippewa Lake, and it's in an actual old slaughterhouse. So that's always the thing we talk about with the atmosphere and all of that it is in a real slaughterhouse.
Yes.
So, that brings us right into the first category, which is sets and props. Now, I feel like we're probably not going to talk in detail as much as maybe we have in other reviews for sets and props, because, again, we've reviewed this every year, and since Nightmare Cleveland's other haunt, and they doubled that in length, this year it was more just touch-up work and stuff like that as far as the sets and props go.
Yeah.
So it's just as amazing as always. I mean, lighting's great, sound effects. I mean, it's just super anxiety-inducing. There's just lots of really good gags and stuff, which we'll talk probably more about in actors and that. Very little animatronics in this place.
Yeah, no. There's maybe the occasional body that kind of moves a little bit.
Right.
But most of the stuff is, yeah.
Yeah, because the whole idea of this place is, since it's in a real slaughterhouse, is, you're going in, and the whole theme is that there's this deranged family of cannibals, basically, that lives in the slaughterhouse. And they really stick to that theme, and this is a very actor-centric haunt, so there's not a lot of there's not a lot of animatronics in it.
Yeah.
But there are a ton of sets and props. And this one, there's no other haunt that we've been to, and we've obviously been to a lot, that blurs the lines of what is just real and what is a prop you would buy at your Distortions, your Scare Factory, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm assuming almost everything except for the body parts and stuff is stuff that was either left there, stuff that's been found.
And I really appreciate the fact that they have gone so far into, and I think I've talked about this before, as to creating a logo for Karver Meats.
Yeah, it's really cool. I have their shirt on, but the back is the big thing. But
yeah,
they even have it as a sticker now this year too.
Mm-hmm. But they have of course the pig that's carving himself, and there's even boxes with a dancing sausage with a bite out of his butt. And just the little details like that really sell it.
That it was an actual real company.
Yeah, and it just really unnerves you to think, is this real?
Right.
Because you're you see this stuff that it's it feels real.
Yeah. And just a quick recap of some of the scenes, and then we want to get into actors, because that's what we really want to talk about here for the majority of this review. But you have your, when you walk in, you have it's I guess the part that you would have used to go in to buy your meats. Yeah. And then there's the scene where I guess the children would be the nursery kind of thing. Mm-hmm. There's one of Kim's favorite scenes with it has her favorite character in it, which of course we'll talk about later, but it's where someone has sewn a bunch of things together. Yeah. There's the school bus scene that's notorious, we've talked about, for having the hanging children bodies. Really cool garage scene. They have that big plane out there that I guess is actually part of that Netflix documentary. There's a really cool church scene which was added the last year or two. Yeah. It's a pagan-y church scene.
Yeah, because there is a little bit of like maybe they like some of the Karvers actually worship some sort of
Yeah,
deity.
there's a hint of like a supernatural element to it.
Just a hint, not like a huge amount. Just like, you know, like maybe they just kind of practice the dark arts in some way, you know, but
right.
not
if
like
you're cannibal, why not, right?
Yeah, I mean
But yeah, I mean, nothing is as unnerving as this place. It's just so creepy, and I've never been to a haunt still that's as realistic. And again, this year, I do think there were a couple things that were slightly changed in pathing. Could be wrong. And it definitely seems like some stuff might have been touched up a little bit.
Yeah.
And like just a few more things added.
Yeah.
Definitely felt like there were more mannequins this year. Could be wrong. But it felt like there were more of those just like static mannequins to not know if it's a person or if it's a mannequin.
Yeah, and we'll get more into that when we get to actors, but yeah, the mannequins were very unnerving.
Yeah, it seemed like there was more of that, but yeah, sets and props, as always, we give it a 10 out of 10 because I don't know how it could be creepier or more realistic than it is. It's really unnerving, and I'm excited because I'm pretty sure they're going to be doing a bit more change now that Nightmare's done, so next season should have a little bit more of a change up, so I'm excited to see what might come of that. All right, so now it's time to get into actors. So I will say we got fairly lucky. We were the second group through the haunt.
Yeah.
And we took some friends with us. So there's 6 of us actually. It's the largest group I think we've actually ever went through a haunt together with, purposefully, not getting caught up, you know. And everyone got touch pass besides one of the people in our group. Now I will preface with saying that this haunt is one of the haunts that does like know us more. A lot of the haunts they have no idea who we are. It's not like we're a big channel thing, but these people, most of them know who we are at this point. And they sure did give us a show.
Oh yeah. So yeah, right off the bat, so you walk in, you're in like the butcher shop, I guess you would call it, like where you would get your meats and stuff. Right. It's kind of set up like a diner.
The diner, yeah. There's like a chair and stuff in there.
And
like
you get
booths.
to meet Grandma and Grandpa Karver, and yeah, they were.
Grandpa was definitely more interactive this year. They were just like all over us, like grabbing our leg, like grabbing my leg and like sizing me up and stuff. I think he was telling you that your hair would look better on Grandma or whatever.
Yeah. He told Grandma that my hair would look good. Yeah.
And just general that, because again, with the touch pass, the thing with the touch pass is you can take it off; it becomes too much for you. But just know that they won't hurt you, but they are rough. Mm-hmm. They are rough, definitely, at this one. In my opinion, they've kind of perfected the whole like touch pass thing. So you start with that, and then of course you have the pig mascot man, who's just an adorable but dirty as F pig costume. And this time he was even super freaky. Like, he went down this long hallway where other actors were attacking us and just was like standing on, like, he had his little sign that says like "Eat More Human," I think is what it says on it. And he's just leaving there completely still, just with the big smiling pig face, you know, while some other actors were just assaulting us.
Yeah.
And then of course, as soon as we get past him, he like runs after me, grabs me by the throat and slams me up against a wall. Then he kind of doubled back, and we grabbed someone else in the group.
Right, yeah, we actually encountered him a couple times when we were walking through, because, again, this one has, like, where they can kind of go into multiple rooms.
Yes.
You know,
because the pig guy was like, we saw him 3 times.
Yeah, we saw him numerous times. Even if it was just in the distance, he was there. He was just like, hey. And then, so let's talk about the mannequins. So we talked about that in sets and props. Yes, there was a lot of these mannequins all over the place. Some of them were not mannequins.
They would stand so disgustingly still.
Gosh.
It was freaky. Probably one of my favorites is the one guy that was with us. So there's this sink of, just disgusting meat and body parts.
Yeah.
And there's 2 mannequins on each side, and the one guy that's with us, like, went over to look, and of course the one mannequin is a person, and just grabs his head and, like, shoves it down into the sink. And it looked like it startled him, I don't know. But it was super freaky. And yeah, they would just, and all of a sudden people would just be out of nowhere, because, like, for one, the hiding spots were really good, and they always have been, but, the way that they are so still and you're really not sure who is who, like some of them will come out right away and jump scare you. Some of them will just, all of a sudden they'll be following you, and you don't know where they came from because you thought they were fake when you originally passed them. Yeah, this year, because I've heard that there was a lot more actors this year, and I don't remember any other year going there where there was like rooms where we're getting like double, triple just interactions at once.
Yeah. Again with the mannequin. So this whole interaction, there was a guy who was on the ground, and he the character's like wrapped in like bandages and stuff like that, and he was just crawling and creeping, and he was like in a little pretzel when we walked into the room. He attacks our one friend and literally takes his shoe and will not give it back. And, like, our friend is, like, ready to just walk through the rest of the haunted house without his freaking shoe.
Because he comes up to me, and he's like, oh, yeah, he took my shoe. And I'm like, well, go get it. And he goes and tries again. And he comes back. I'm like, would you get your shoe? And he's like, no. And I'm like, Isaac, you can't not have your shoe. So he goes back to the guy. And finally, the guy just takes the shoe and throws it across the room at me. Now, we're standing in a different room. This was a long hallway, and there's what we thought was a mannequin. And he's watching this whole interaction, which has to be the funniest thing in the world for him. I mean, I don't know how it's not. And just never, I don't even know if he was breathing.
Yeah, he never moved. And we thought it was a mannequin. And then as soon as we got into that threshold where he was at, he attacked. But the fact that he held that position for so long without breathing, without giving himself away, for like probably like 3 minutes.
It seemed like a while, yeah. I don't know if it was a while. And it was just having to stand there being so still.
It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it was really cool. Another big shout out in the room with I almost want to call it the orphanage room. It's not an orphanage. Like the room with the kid, like what is it?
Like
the nursery.
The nursery, yeah.
This was the first time I've ever seen like 3 actors in there, because it's usually just
the woman in black is usually in there, and there were 2 other people in there as well. So the woman in black grabbed me, and she proceeded to escort me through the room. She grabbed my arm like this, and she was petting me like this, and she escorted me. She like literally was holding on to me and leading me through the room, while the other 2 girls that were in this room just bombarded everybody else that was in the group.
Including, because one had like a tambourine that she would like hit against you and stuff. Yeah, it was pretty wild, and just like all the jump scares. When we got to the guy at the school bus scene, he came out. I don't even know where he actually was hiding, because at first I thought like, oh, where's the guy? I don't see him. And then he came out of nowhere, grabbed Isaac by the back of the neck and put him in a box and locked the door. And then he grabbed me by the back of the neck, and he was saying all kinds of crazy stuff about collecting his victims. And then he had to show me his victims, which are the dangling kids. And he put me in the room, and he's talking about them and pointing at them. I'm like, what the hell? So that was fun. I think someone actually had to unlock Isaac from the box. I don't know. Eventually he came back though. And I'm pretty sure, because I asked, I think it was the pig guy. So we were trying to leave the one room, and all of a sudden the one actor just comes, and at this point, our one friend Brett was leading, and he just grabs him and just like bowling pins, just knocks us all out of the way, just like bear hugging him, just shoves him up against a wall, and just like hitting all of us in the way. And I'm just like, okay. And I think the one guy was like, well, I've never seen something like that at a haunt before. And I'm like, now you have.
Right.
There you go.
There was, I had actually never seen the full scene. Usually when I walk into this room, it already happens. But there is a scene, and, trigger alert, but guy basically kills himself, shoots himself in this office. And it was just very convincing the way he was sitting. He had a drink. He was just kind of he was like this. He slammed the drink down, and then he went bang.
Yeah, it was like a boot pedal, because a light and a big sound comes.
Yeah. But it was really effective, because it was like, oh wow, okay. it was very kind of traumatic feeling a little bit.
Yeah, the scene where I don't know how to describe, because again it's all Slaughterhouse theme, but it's maybe the packing area. There's this guy with this stupid flashlight stick, and he was just everywhere. He scared us multiple times. They have this whole gag that when you walk under it, the things open and makes this huge noise.
Oh yeah.
At one point he scared me so bad that I ended up, he didn't do, but I slammed myself against the wall, because he just kind of flew at me. And actually my neck was hurting and stuff the next day. I hit the wall so hard. And then something else is just really cool that the actors do, and they've always done this, but it seemed even more so this year, is they're just using actual things like wood. like the wood pallet things that forklifts. What are they called again? That forklifts like lift up.
Pallets.
They're just pallets.
Yeah.
That's just pallets.
Yeah.
Like he knocked one of those down to like because they had it like set up like basically like as a that looked like I don't know, like it was like a wall, like it wouldn't be like, it was just like a prop that wouldn't be moved, but then he like hits it down, it makes a loud noise, and just like the way people just like fling like metal barrels out of nowhere and stuff, it was just scare the crap out of you. That was the thing they did a lot, because there's so many barrels in this haunt where they would just hit it and just these loud noises would just scare the crap out of you. Probably the thing that gave us the most intense jump scare of the night is there's like this scene where there's like a truck that's backed up and there's like, I think it's a bread cart. It's on chains. Well, I knew it was going to like push at us, look like it's going to fall on us, and a guy runs and he does that, and that kind of started us. And then at the same time, out of the shadow, some guy came running out, grabbed a barrel, and just picked it up and slammed it down the ground. I had to take a minute.
Yeah, it was a lot. Like we all hollered. We all were like, ah! Like it was a lot.
Yeah.
There was of course in the garage area. There's always the chainsaw guys, and it seemed like they kind of changed it up a little bit because there was actually victims in there.
Right. I don't remember seeing that before.
Yeah, I don't remember there being actual victims. I always remember it being just the Karvers. So, like, the garage area, there's a lot of cars from people that they have taken and things like that. Well, one of them actually had a girl in it. And then there was also a guy in a wheelchair that came up to us, and he was yelling at us, like, where's my daughter? Where's my daughter? So I'm assuming he was a victim as well. And then, of course, the chainsaw guys just came up and... they, of course, gave us lovely back massages with their chainsaws.
Yeah, which they did not touch us with the chainsaws before.
No.
But yeah, they came up and he was touching all of us with the chainsaw. And they also like hit whatever they have, like they make sparks when they hit the ground.
Mm-hmm.
So of course that was freaky. There was a guy on the outside portion, so there's like this container filled with body bags, and I believe he was dressed as a body bag.
He had like a thing that made it look like he was hanging from the ceiling.
Because I didn't even ever see the guy. All of a sudden, I just am bear hugged and I'm just being dragged. Then a body bag did come and almost knocked my glasses off. Soon as I said, "Oh, my glasses," he like let go of me. But I never even saw him. Like all of a sudden, I was just being dragged somewhere, and I'm like, "Blah!"
Yeah, we were, Isaac and I, we were kind of like co-leading, and we were going through, and there was a body bag, and then there was one that was like really low to the ground. And I was like, oh, I'm just going to sneak past that one. And that was the guy. And I was like, and he snatched him.
Oh, yeah, he snatched me up real good. Yeah, scared the crap out of me. There was another guy with the chainsaw. So you like walk between these two campers, and he ran up, grabbed me by the back of the neck, and held me against a camper while he just took the chainsaw and just ran it up and down my back multiple times. Then he threw me into Kim. And then there's a couple other double scares I remember outside too, just people hiding in the bushes or just people being everywhere. And like anytime you got like a moment, it was kind of like nice just to have a breather when there just was just a moment where there wasn't someone just attacking you.
Yeah, no, really. And then in the airplane, I don't even know how this guy managed to do this. I'm sure there's probably some sort of mechanism set up or something, because it sounded like he was like on the one side, but he was actually hiding on the total opposite side of the airplane. And so, like, of course you're looking over on the left thinking he's gonna pop out somewhere, and he totally he got us from the right hand side, because I did not expect him there, and he was just around that corner. And yeah, that was a really good scare. I did holler at that one.
Yeah, but yeah, there's just so many this year. Just their actors just out the ass. It was absolutely insane. And yeah, just very aggressive. And yeah, and because we're giving them a 10, and I know we've given them a 10 before. Then it's wild that it's like somehow so much better this year, even though we've given them a 10 before. But it was just like just the extra amount of them. Just I don't know. Just walking into a room and just having 3 people assault you at once, and then when you have the touch pass, it just after the initial scare, it doesn't stop. It continues into that of just being grabbed, of being put into like an extra little scene or whatever they might be doing to you. It's not all just grabbing someone. Use the chainsaw. Some might run like a fake blade against you. Some might play with your hair. It's just if you can handle it, I definitely think that doing the touch pass is 100% worth it. It just adds such an extra element, and the actors there are already so interactive. It really just allows them that extra room to really give you a good show. And it also helps if you get conga lined with other people, that it makes it so, okay, now I'm not going to be getting as many jump scares because I might be seeing the ones in front of me. At least you're still going to have that interaction, that freakiness aspect to make up for the fact that you might be missing some scares. But yeah, I definitely recommend the Touch Pass.
So moving on to scare factor. I mean, our notes just say WTF. That's pretty much it, and that explains everything.
I see so many now outside of these stupid haunts where they force feed you stuff, which aren't really usually haunts. They're just dumb things. But I mean, I see, we recently reviewed, the Haunted Hotel and stuff like that, which, touts itself as an extreme haunt. Now, mind you, I guess, these ones, it's not optional for it's, so when you go there, you just are getting the touch experience, but, I'm really surprised that, more people haven't talked about, this haunt in particular being, one of the more extreme ones, just because, I mean, for one, the atmosphere is terrifying. Even if you don't do the Touch Pass, even if there weren't actors, if you were someone that just got scared, just get scared of things, at all, really, walking through the environment, just with the lighting and the sound effects would be enough to just really unnerve you. And now you add in, actors jump scaring you with their amazing, makeup and all of that. And then if you add in the touching, it really is, I feel an overwhelming sensory overload.
Yes.
I could definitely see this haunt being too much for people, which is good with the Touch Pass, you can opt out of it if you pay for it and you're like, you know what, I think I'm all right. Because I will say, at the end, I was just when it ended, I'm like, good.
Yeah, I was very happy to see the gift shop.
Which is a great compliment.
Yes.
You're going to get scared, and they did that for us,
Yes. Oh, my gosh. My anxiety was just through the roof.
Yeah.
The whole walk back to the car, which wasn't that far, I was just like, okay, calm down.
Yeah. Listen, we've always liked this place. We've been at Haunt of the Year a couple times, and this year's somehow even better. So, yeah, I don't know. It's just really good. It's really freaking scary. I would say if you don't do the Touch Pass, maybe it would be a 9, but I think with the Touch Pass, it surpasses a 10, but we rate higher than 10, but
right.
But that's the good thing that I would highly recommend doing it. Except it's scary, but in a fun way. They don't shock you, they don't cover you in goop, they don't make you eat bugs or anything, but I mean, they're gonna roughhouse you though. Just know that you're gonna be, it's more than just light touching, you're going to be grabbed, you're going to be shoved, but they do it in a way that you're still safe. I don't think, you're gonna get hurt or anything like that, but I mean, just know if you're someone that you have instant reflex and someone grabs you to throw fists or something, don't get the Touch Pass, I guess. But if you're going to a haunted house,
yeah, you're there to get scared.
Right.
Don't man up on somebody.
Right.
That's stupid.
But yeah, definitely an extremely intense scare factor. So yeah, moving into value. I don't know if the price raised from last year or not. Touch Pass, I think, definitely did. We should have it, because it's $30 for general this year, and then $10 to add the Touch Pass. I think it used to change per night, but I could be wrong. I'm thinking it was this $30 flat this year. I don't think that it changes.
Okay. Touch Pass changed.
So Touch Pass went up. It was $6. It's now $10, but general was $30 last year.
Yeah.
So price didn't raise. Took us 26 minutes to get through, which is pretty long. We think value, obviously, for the quality you're getting is pretty strong. I mean, it sucks anytime prices raise. It's weird that the Touch Pass raised, but the general admission didn't.
Right.
That's a little strange.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just $4, but I guess if you're paying for multiple people, that adds up for multiple people.
Yeah.
I just hope it doesn't de-incentivize anyone to get that, because I think that's the true experience, in my honest opinion. So I'm going to say it's $40 to go through, because that's what you should be doing, unless you just really can't handle being touched.
Yeah.
But yeah, for value, gave it a 9. Really good value. At 30, 40, you are getting up there in price a little bit for especially the area, but it's 100% worth it though. So
yeah. So for an overall score, we did give them a 10.
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine the haunt being much better. I think it's the perfect length. Again, right when it ended, I was ready for it to be done. I mean, I guess in the outside section, if I could say one thing in the outside section, I might like to see one little extra seat instead of so many of these shipping containers. Might be cool.
Yeah.
I mean, the shipping containers are effective, But, like, the atmosphere, of course, like, the atmosphere outside isn't nearly as terrifying as the inside. But things like having to walk through that plane, that is very anxiety-inducing in the church. So I like that. So maybe another scene or two like that outside.
Yeah.
But, I mean, again, I still, even if they were to change nothing, I still think it's like a must-see haunted house.
Yes.
Like, if you were to go to Ohio and only go to one, I would say it would be this one. Thankfully, there's tons to choose from. And Nightmare Cleveland, for example, owned by the same people, is only 45 minutes away. So, but yeah, have you been there before? Let us know what you think of it in the comments below. Have you done the Touch Pass? What was your experience? Make sure you like and subscribe, and also make sure you're ringing the notification bell so you're not missing. So you're not missing anything. Was that you're trying to pay me back?
I was trying to scare him.
Well, she tried. But you're not missing any upcoming videos. Thank you very much for watching.
Bye.